Why are the revolutions of 1989 considered significant? If you're curious about the events that reshaped the world in the late 20th century, you're likely wondering why the revolutions of 1989 are so important. Let's break it down. In 1989, a wave of revolutions swept across Eastern Europe, marking a significant turning point in world history. One of the most iconic moments was the fall of the Berlin Wall on November 9, 1989. This wall had been a physical and symbolic barrier between East and West Germany since 1961, representing the division of Europe during the Cold War. The fall of the Berlin Wall was more than just a local event. It signaled the end of the Cold War and the collapse of communist regimes across Eastern Europe. Countries like Poland, Hungary, East Germany, and Czechoslovakia saw their communist governments replaced by democratically elected ones by the summer of 1990. These revolutions were not isolated events but part of a broader movement. In the Soviet Union, reforms initiated by Mikhail Gorbachev, such as glasnost and perestroika, weakened the Soviet grip on Eastern Europe. This led to a domino effect where countries like Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia declared their independence, further eroding Soviet control. The impact was global. The end of the Cold War led to a new era of international cooperation. For instance, the United States and the Soviet Union collaborated on several fronts, including opposing Iraq's invasion of Kuwait and negotiating arms control agreements like START-I and the Chemical Weapons Convention. The revolutions of 1989 also marked a shift towards democracy and civic activism. These movements were driven by a desire for freedom and democratic participation, challenging the authoritarian regimes that had dominated Eastern Europe for decades. The role of public intellectuals and dissidents was crucial in these revolutions, as they helped mobilize public support and push for political change. In the aftermath, the Warsaw Pact was dissolved, and Soviet troops began withdrawing from Eastern Europe, completing their withdrawal by the mid-1990s. This period saw the emergence of new political and economic systems, as Eastern Europe began to integrate into Western economic, political, and security frameworks. The significance of these revolutions lies in their far-reaching consequences. They ended the ideological warfare that had defined much of the 20th century, marking the triumph of civic dignity and political morality over authoritarian regimes. While the post-communist era brought its own set of challenges, including ethnic conflicts and social unrest, the events of 1989 remains a pivotal moment in modern history. In essence, the revolutions of 1989 were significant because they brought about a new world order, ending the Cold War, dismantling communist regimes, and ushering in an era of democratic reforms and international cooperation. These events continue to shape global politics and society today.